If this is your first video in the series, I'd suggest you tune into the Global Learning Welcome for a brief overview of our program options. But if you've already listened to this, let's just dive straight into an introduction to faculty study tours. First and foremost, I have to deliver a travel disclaimer. So due to COVID-related travel restrictions in 2020, we're not currently operating or advertising any overseas programs. So whilst we're currently unsure about conditions going forward, we're very hopeful travel will resume in 2021 and we can send you on your dream overseas experience. So what is a faculty study tour? Study tours can be run by your UC academics and they're discipline specific and designed with your learning outcomes in mind. They're taught all over the world and you get to go with your classmates. They're typically 2 to 4 weeks in duration and you're enrolled in a unit at UC. You get about 3 credit points generally, which is 1 unit, and you can go over summer or winter depending on when your academic chooses to run the program. There's lots to consider about a faculty study tour. First and foremost, you want to think about whether you're eligible. There are over 20 diverse FSTs planned for 2021, and you might only be eligible for 1 or 2 of these. They're designed by academics for specific courses, and you have to meet the eligibility criteria advertised by each program in order to undertake it. So which year should you go? They're varying annually, and this is based on availability or student feedback on the last program. Some programs have prerequisites that you might have to meet before you can go on them, and funding options may differ by year of study. We'll learn more about funding options later. Where can I find upcoming programs? You can go into your My UC, and in the left-hand menu, there's a Study Overseas button. From there, you can look at all your overseas options, including faculty study tours. Another way you could find out about them is talking to your faculty in their advice sessions or going to see them in Building 1 and making a meeting with them. You can also find out about upcoming programs by going on the Global Learning team social media and communications. So you can add us on Facebook, Instagram, or join our mailing list, and you'll find more about that at the end of the presentation. There are so many benefits about faculty study tours, but in particular, the best selling point, there are 444 government-funded places available for students in 2021 to help you meet the costs of those programs. Faculty study tours are also ideal for beginner travelers, and they make a really great addition to your CV. So where can you go? This is just a small snapshot of some of the programs we've run previously and are hoping to run again in the future. We had the Japan Architecture Tour, Health and Wellness in Samoa, Teacher Education in China, Journalism in the Middle East, and European Sport Management Tour in Europe. There's so much financial assistance available to you for a faculty study tour. First and foremost, there are New Colombo Plan grants. These are for Australian citizens, and the funding has already been won by our academics and can be given to students based on merit in the UC application process. Typically, this is around $3,000 per student, and it's for Indo-Pacific destinations. These funds do not need to be returned unless there is a breach of conditions. They're yours to keep. Other things to consider, NCP funding is largely for undergraduate students and programs, which may be a drawback for some. Students may only accept NCP grant funding once in their lifetime. On top of this, there's also OS Help. This is for eligible CSP students. This means Commonwealth Supported Place students. Anyone who's an Australian citizen and meets the other criteria, which you can find on their website, is eligible for OS Help. It's up to $8,295 Australian dollars per 6-month study period in Asia, or $6,913 per 6-month study period not in Asia. No fee and no interest is accrued on these loans, only indexation, and it's actually added to your help debt. Other things to consider, a maximum of 2 loans can be accessed in your lifetime, and there's a language supplement available for study in Asian countries. So how do you apply for faculty study tours? You can check out our site on My UC, Study Overseas, and browse advertised FSTs for an eligible program. Then you should speak to your faculty to ensure your program will fit in your course requirements. After this, you can apply online through My UC and take careful note of your program name to ensure you apply for the right one. This happens quite often. Take time with your application responses. It's a competitive round for funds and places. Once you receive your acceptance, you can complete UC online modules and attend your pre-departure session. After this, it's flights, visas, accommodation, and all the other exciting steps you take to travel overseas. There are so many common misconceptions around traveling overseas while you study. The first is financial. There are funding options available for HECS-eligible students or Australian citizens, including the NCP grants or OS Help loans. Short programs are often cheaper, and in the past, these programs have cost between $1,200 and $6,000 each, plus flights and personal expenses, depending on which program you choose. The next common misconception is language. All our faculty study tours are run in English. If you're worried about the local language, look to see if you're eligible for additional language funding for your program or use inexpensive online language tools prior to departure. The next is time commitment. If you're worried about taking time away from your family, your relationship, job, etc., faculty study tours and short courses are perfect for you as they're generally run for only 2 to 4 weeks in your academic breaks. The Global Learning team are available to support students through the whole process. We are here for you to book an appointment or drop into the Student Centre during visiting hours for advice on the next steps. And you won't be extending your degree. All global learning programs count for credit and they don't extend your degree. In some instances, overseas experiences can actually shorten your degree as you're able to earn credit over your winter or summer breaks. And if you're unsure of where to start, just book an appointment or drop into the Student Centre during visiting hours and say hi to the team at Desk 11. You don't have to travel with strangers. For a faculty study tour, it's run by UC staff and only has UC students. You can make some great friendships to return home with and meet new people safely within a group while you're abroad. If you're scared of traveling or it feels like it could be a daunting experience, you can be rest assured that we would never put our students in an unsafe or risky environment. We also offer a variety of support services throughout your experience. If you're worried about anxiety or mental health while traveling, you should know that as well as providing support before and after you leave for abroad, there are lots of support services available to you throughout your program, including a 24/7 free call service to support you in your health needs while overseas. The next step for you after this video is to connect with us. So you can visit our website, you can email us personally to ask for more information, and you can sign up for our mailing list, which is advertised below on the orientation website. You can follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We're really hoping to connect with you and answer all your questions about traveling overseas. Thank you so much.